Okay, what's up, everyone? I'm Veronica, and I am the founder of the Dunedin Wellness Collective. And I am here today with Lisa Seward. I'm really excited to introduce you guys to Lisa. Her work is really powerful. So, Lisa has been practicing something called Body Talk for over 25 years, and she's also been a licensed massage therapist for over 35 years in addition to multiple other modalities that she uses and combines depending on the individual needs of her client. And I had the pleasure of receiving a session from Lisa this week, and it was really fascinating. She's able to actually speak directly to your body to find out what's the root cause of the imbalance that you're dealing with. And for someone like me who has multiple chronic body issues like chronic sleep issues, chronic pain issues, it's really helpful to have somebody that can just go and tap into the innate wisdom of your body to find out what is the root cause and what's going on. So that was really cool. Thank you for that, Lisa. And it's great to have you here. So, if you could tell us first and foremost, for people who are listening who don't know what muscle testing is, I think that's what you use to communicate with the body. If you could just explain in simple terms, how does that work? How do you actually get information from the body to find out what's going on?
Well, in body talk, we call it neuromuscular biofeedback. And we're asking your body yes and no questions. I calibrate with a yes and a no to find out what the person needs. I use your arm as a lever, and then we ask questions, and your body guides me. So we show me a no, show me a yes. And once I do that, I can also do it energetically, long distance, wherever you're at. So I don't always have to have you in person to work on you.
Okay.
Because this work is called structured intuition. And this intuition really helps you to get precision right down to the little details of where you need to work, how I need to work, and where I need to work. And that makes it so precise. And
Hmm.
it changes people's lives. It changed my life. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, why don't you tell us your story? How did you get into this line of work?
I came from a family that didn't touch or say I love you. And so I also was born with a deformity where I had excess tissue on both sides of my neck
Hmm.
and a couple years of being bullied. So you get really shy doing that. And then I gained a lot of weight. I was taken to Children's Hospital and I had to lose 18 pounds before I could have cosmetic surgery on my neck. At 12, I had the surgery. Within a few months of that, I had a heart catheterization, a procedure they do not do that way anymore because it's too traumatic. It was placed in the groin of my legs, two catheters with miniature cameras, and I'm awake through the procedure. And it goes all the way to the arteries, to my heart. I wake up, I can see my heart beating, and then they pull them out and they say, hold your breath and fire from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. And I didn't say a word because I was a good little girl. Well, that kind of shut me down for 4 years afterwards. I had to use crutches. They told me this was nothing part of the aftercare I had to receive. But I got through it. I went back sucking my thumb. But what did I learn in energy medicine? When you're sucking your thumb, you're trying to get your brain to function again. Interesting. How many children are sucking their thumbs? How much trauma are we really receiving in the birth canal?
Yeah.
It makes you really wonder what's really going on.
It sounds like you've been through a lot of trauma, and then this work was able to help you move
Right.
through.
And then I had a 25 years later, I had a four-car accident. I was the third car out of four. I called an angel and I didn't die that day. But then I started a holistic journey to heal. One of the practitioners who worked on me knew Body Talk.
Mm.
So he started working on me too. So I did a lot of different practitioners. I did a lot of different modalities because I knew it was my time to have a second chance in life, to really begin again like I was 12. And I felt very like an opportunity to heal. And I did. So and then in 99, I took this class and it helped my scar tissue. It dissolved. 30 years of scar tissue in 5 minutes without pain. And at that moment in time, I said, that's my modality. I'm going to do that technique. And
Yeah.
I've been doing it ever since. So that's how I
So
started.
that's the body talk, right?
Yes.
Okay, so can you explain to us, for people who are brand new to this, just in simple layman's terms, what is body talk?
Helps bring communication, electrical communication back to the body, the mind, the spirit, the soul. Helps you reconnect to yourself. So trauma disconnects you from your heart and your head and your gut. But we have three brains. We have a head brain, we have a heart brain, we have a gut brain. But when they're not in communication, they don't function. So if you, let's say, so I'll ask your body where I need to work. Oh, he says I have to work on the left side of my brain. All right, so I'm going to work there. Where do I have to work? The cellular level? Let's work there. Yes. Do I need to link to another part of the body? Yes. I need to link to my um, endocrine system. Okay, let's link there. Oh, what's going on in my liver? Something's going on in my liver. I have to go there. And it's telling me the roadmap I have to follow to get well. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm following the roadmap where it's telling me to go. Do I need to bring some consciousness in? Yeah, I have to bring some consciousness. Oh, do I have to bring, oh, some body chemistry going on? Let me work there. Oh, is there a scar I need to release? Let me work there. So I'm following the path it wants me to take. And then I decide I have to now, we're ready to balance. Now I'm going to tap the top of your head. I'm going to tap your heart. Tapping the top helps bring the circulation blood flow back, right? I'm tapping the heart. I want to store it back in the body. I want to tap your belly button. I want you to digest and assimilate life because we don't do it up here. Our answers come from our gut instincts, but we don't know how to get there if we're disconnected.
Yeah.
And we get stressed and we rather run away than deal with the issue. But, I want to get back to my body. So there's a basic technique that maybe I'll show you real quick. And it helps bring balance back to the body and mind because we're working all on the cortices. I'm just doing it real fast for you. And I'm tapping these other areas. I don't even have to even touch the skin. I can work above because I have people who don't like to be touched. We can work with that. Now I place both my hands here and I think about the left and right hemisphere of my brain linking together. Think about it. I think of like a figure eight, like a racetrack. We're getting it to communicate. Let's tap. Boom, boom, boom. And here we go. And now I just balanced everything. And now I'm in sympathetic nervous system balance. It's easy.
Yeah, it's amazing how effective it is and how quickly it works. And one thing that I found interesting is that, so I wanted to work on something specific and I came to you wanting to work on that. I mean, I had all the different, you did the intake and I told you everything that was wrong with me. But you can come on a conscious level wanting to work on something specific, but your body says, no, 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 no. You need to start with XYZ and address this. So for me, it was sleep. We started working on the sleep. And that was the first area to go. So it's kind of cool that your body will tell you what the priority is. Like you have to heal this in order to get to the other part of what you're wanting to heal. So that's really fascinating. So, can you tell us, please, Lisa, who is this work for? Who does this benefit?
Everyone. I've really haven't not worked on, I mean, it's amazing who I've worked on. Children. I
Mm.
worked on a set of twins that were banging their heads on their crib and terrified of taking showers. And within a few sessions, they were able to clear it like that.
Wow.
And now they're in their late 20s. So it's interesting how, they can heal. I've worked on people falling in the bathtub, or I've worked on people who are dizzy, and in 3 sessions, they're better. And I used to be a yoga instructor. So, it's interesting. And she did her first headstand. She goes, I just finally did my first head. So exciting, and watching people grow and to really get more aware and be able to listen better to themselves. A lot of people in trauma can't listen and really get grounded. I work with seniors. My father's memory came back in his late 90s. My
Mhm.
aunt's memory came back. She also had congestive heart failure a lot. And I said, why do you come to me? She goes, well, I go to the emergency room. It's 5 hours of pain. I come see you in an hour, it's gone. I'm like, okay.
It's amazing what can happen when you bring the body back into balance.
Right, right.
And
It's just amazing. It doesn't matter. I work children, adults, seniors. I
yeah,
work with memory issues. Take a lot of brain work. So I do a lot of brain work, help relink the brain. That's what happened to my brain. In 2004, I started to hear poetry come out of my head. I'm like, okay. So I started to like write, and I've been a writer since I was 18 years old, but I started writing poetry more after 2004. And I
Cool.
wrote my first Body Talk song. So,
Maybe you can share it in the comments.
okay.
I think that would be really cool for everybody to see. So it sounds like I would say anybody who has chronic issues that you are not able to solve, and you've tried everything, then Lisa is definitely the person that you want to come and see to get it resolved quickly.
I used to work in an office, an acupuncture office, and the other massage therapist was so stressed. She goes, I can't, nothing I do works for this girl. I said, give her to me.
Yeah,
She stayed. She
I
stayed. She
love that.
loved it. She loved my work. So you just
Okay.
had to find, because also 85% of the modalities that you use
Mhm.
work on 85% of the people. You know, only not everything that you've been trained on always works on you. So
Hmm.
there's 15% that need something else. Let's say
Hmm.
you're hypersensitive. I need to work with those people. Maybe you got some sensitivities to your environment. Maybe sensory issues. Maybe you have some sensory issues that can help bring balance of those type of
So you can work
things.
with all that stuff.
I do.
Okay. Why does your work get to the bottom of the issue when other things don't?
Well, we don't worry about the diagnosis. I hate to say that. We
Hmm.
focus more on what the holistic body wants, a body-mind connection,
Yeah.
not just a physical body sensation. Because the body, we know by Candace Perk,
Hmm.
she was the molecules of emotion. She realized that there was emotions in the molecules that we needed to work with. So we're not can't discount that. That's truth, you know.
Yeah.
You have to work what works. And Bruce Lipton said, um, what's his book? Molecules of no. Oh, it's totally went blank. But
Yeah.
his work is about belief systems. Belief
Hmm.
systems are your way to get well. And he's a neurophysicist or whatever. And so he had also a belief system. So learning how to work with these different ideas and how wellness looks at. It's
Hmm.
not just a one-way ticket, oh, prescription for this. Everybody heals differently. And we don't, if you don't um, allow for that opportunity for that, you don't get well. That's why I'm wellness options for you because everybody heals differently.
Yeah.
You can't say you're going to get well the same way that left person over there did, or the person over here. It's you. You're the individual. So I tailor it exactly for your needs only.
I love that. And so you mentioned Wellness for You. Is that your website?
Yeah, it's wellness options number four, letter U, LLC.
Wellness options, the number four.
Letter U, but the LLC is not on the website, so just go wellness options for you. But when
Dot.
you get there, it'll say it.
Okay. So if somebody wants to have a consultation with you, schedule a session with you, that's where they would find you. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Amazing. Like I said, I was really fascinated and impressed by your work. You're modest, but you're phenomenal. I was just blown away by the session that we did together. So I would highly encourage anybody out there who's listening to this, whether you're in the Dunedin Wellness Collective or you're finding it on my YouTube channel, if this resonates with you and you have something that you haven't been able to resolve, give Lisa a try. So, thank you so much, Lisa, for being with us here today. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so kindly.
Okay, bye everyone.